Let me guess what your typical day looks like. You wake up already exhausted, automatically switch into do what needs to be done mode, and dutifully drag your ass to check off an endless to-do list. And on the surface, everything seems fine. In fact, it's so fine that it's actually a little suspicious. Deep down, you have this lingering feeling that someone stole something incredibly important from you before you even realized it existed. When someone is truly living, they are connected to themselves. But you? It feels like you're operating your own life with a remote control that's running on dead batteries. The worst part starts when you try to figure out what exactly is wrong. You think, maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I'm not trying hard enough. You start fighting the symptoms while completely ignoring the root cause. You force yourself to be stronger, tougher, more efficient, more independent. You pride yourself on handling everything on your own. You don't ask for help. You don't rely on anyone. You don't complain. If something breaks, you fix it. If things get bad, you just power through. If it's heavy, you swallow it. If it hurts, you stay quiet. From the outside, it looks great, almost heroic. But there's one uncomfortable question. If being independent feels so good, why are you so damn tired all the time? Why is it that every time an opportunity comes up to lean on someone, your first instinct is to disappear? Why does receiving help bring tension instead of relief? The answer might be a lot harder to swallow than you think. Maybe you never actually became independent. Maybe you just realized way too early that there was no one coming to save you. Those are two completely different things. A child isn't born with the idea that they have to carry the weight of the entire world on their shoulders. Kids come into this world with a very simple logic. If I'm hurting, someone will help. If I'm scared, someone will comfort me. If I'm in pain, someone will notice. But when that doesn't happen for a long enough time, the brain draws a conclusion. It's not tragic or dramatic, it's highly practical. Stop asking. That is exactly how you get the story of a person who spends their whole life looking incredibly strong while feeling infinitely lonely. But that's only the beginning. There's another weird thing. Has anyone ever asked you, what are you feeling? Not what you're thinking, not what you're planning to do or what your strategy is, but what you are actually feeling. And you just froze, like a computer trying to open a file that doesn't exist. Total blankness, load error, white screen. You know there's something churning inside, but you can't put a name to it. Not because you're stupid or emotionally closed off, but because nobody ever taught you how. If your sadness was called a tantrum, your hurt was labeled no big deal, your fear was called silly, and your pain was brushed off as an exaggeration, over time, you just stopped looking inward. What's the point of sending out an SOS signal if you already know no one is going to respond? So, here you are, a fully grown adult. On the outside, you're highly functional. On the inside, you're disconnected from half of your own operating system. But it gets even more interesting. Have you ever noticed how often you over-explain yourself? No one is accusing you of anything. No one is interrogating you. No one asked for a report. Yet, you've already prepared a 20-slide PowerPoint presentation on why you're 3 minutes late, why you chose this option, why you said no, or why you said yes. It's like your life is constantly undergoing an internal audit. Funny? A little. Sad? Way more. Because deep down, there is a core belief that your right to make a choice is something you have to earn. That simply saying, because I decided to, isn't enough. You have to prove it, justify it, defend it, and get permission. Otherwise, you're guilty. So you explain everything, even when nobody asked. And then comes the king of all habits, apologizing. You apologize so much, it's like you're competing in a sport. Someone bumps into you? Sorry. Someone interrupts you? Sorry. You need to ask a quick question? Sorry. You're a living human being taking up a few square feet of space on planet Earth. Sorry about that. This isn't good manners. It's fear. Fear of being inconvenient. Fear of taking up space. The most absurd part is that a lot of people actually look at this as a good trait. Like, wow, what a polite, well-mannered person. No. Very often, it's not politeness. It's shrinking yourself down to a safe size so you don't accidentally rub anyone the wrong way. You understand other people perfectly, sometimes too well. You read the room faster than a weather app predicts rain. You know exactly when someone is upset, when they're angry, when they're lying, when they want to leave, or when they're forcing a smile. You've become an expert on everyone else's emotions. There's just one catch. When it comes to your own emotions, you're totally lost. Because a long time ago, your safety depended on your ability to read the moods of the people around you. You didn't study people out of curiosity. You did it out of survival. That's why today, you can shapeshift to fit almost anyone. You're high energy with high energy people, serious with serious people, and quiet with quiet people. Who are you when there's no one else around? Which version is the real you? Is there even a real version? This is where a lot of people start barking up the wrong tree. They think the problem is their self-esteem, motivation, discipline, or willpower. But imagine someone who has been wearing heavy medieval armor their entire life and then decides the problem is that their muscles are too weak. No, the problem isn't your muscles. The problem is that the armor fused to your skin a long time ago. This is exactly what happens to so many of us. We mistake our defense mechanisms for our personality. We mistake survival for character, caution for maturity, loneliness for independence, and emotional numbness for peace. But armor always comes with a price tag. It doesn't just keep out the pain, it keeps out closeness, trust, love, and the feeling that you don't have to earn your right to exist. This is also why so many people become rescuers, the exact type of people who are incredible at solving everyone else's problems, but their own. They will listen, validate, support, show up in the middle of the night, and handle the crisis. But the moment they are the ones hurting, they ghost. Because helping feels safe, but needing help feels terrifying. When you're helping others, you're in control. When you need help, you risk triggering that old painful message. Not now. Don't bother me. Figure it out yourself. So it's just easier to play the hero. The hero is always wanted, but a regular person with actual needs feels dangerously vulnerable. There was never anything wrong with you. Seriously, nothing. Your brain isn't broken, your psyche didn't betray you, and you didn't turn out worse than everyone else. In fact, it's the opposite. All of these habits used to work perfectly. They kept you alive, they helped you adapt, and they got you through periods of your life when you simply didn't have any other tools. The only issue is that you can't run on emergency mode forever. Real change doesn't start with a massive revolution, a brand new identity, or turning into a completely different person overnight. It starts with a tiny, almost laughable betrayal of your old rules.
The next time someone asks you what you want, don't just reflexively say, "Oh, I don't care, whatever you want." Hit pause, just for a few seconds, and try to find an actual answer, even if it's the most insignificant thing. What movie you want to watch, what drink you want to order, what route you want to take, what choice you want to make. It seems like a tiny detail, but this is exactly how the journey back to yourself begins. It doesn't happen through grand epiphanies, magical techniques, or a sudden spiritual awakening at 3 a.m. It happens by accepting a very simple truth. Your feelings matter. Your desires matter. Your boundaries matter. Your needs matter. Not because you earned them, not because you proved your usefulness, and not because you've suffered enough, but because they were important from the very beginning. You were never too much, and you were never not enough. You were just a person who went unnoticed for a really long time. And now, it's finally time to do what no one else could do for you back then. Finally, notice yourself.